when Almighty Allah removes someone from your life. It never feels gentle at first. It feels like the ground shifts under your feet. It feels like the heart is asked to carry more weight than it was built for. And when that person is family, a parent, a child, a sibling, a spouse, the pain strikes deeper than the body knows how to describe. Assalamu alaikum, beautiful souls. Welcome to Inner Noor. But here's the truth you often learn only after the storm. Almighty Allah never takes someone away to break you. He removes them because it is part of His divine wisdom, a wisdom your heart may struggle to understand today, but one day will thank Him for. Some losses feel like the world has stopped breathing. A mother who raised you with her du'as, a father who worked silently so you could live a little better than he did, a child whose smile lit up the home, a sibling who grew with you, fought with you, laughed with you, a spouse who shared your dreams and prayers. Their absence creates a silence that echoes in every room, every memory, every prayer. You wonder, why did Almighty Allah take them? Why now? Why this way? Why this pain? Almighty Allah answers this question directly in the Qur'an. But perhaps you dislike something when it is good for you, and perhaps you love something when it is bad for you. Allah knows and you do not know. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216. This verse isn't just for hardships, tests, heartbreak, or disappointments. It is also for loss. Almighty Allah knows the unseen. He knows what would happen if that person stayed longer. He knows the future you cannot see. He knows the whispers that never reach your ears, the dangers that never touch your life, and the burdens that would have destroyed you. Sometimes Almighty Allah removes someone to protect them. Sometimes He removes someone to protect you. And sometimes He removes someone so that both souls can journey towards something better, something purer, something eternal. When a family member returns to Almighty Allah, the pain is not a punishment. It is a reminder, a powerful, awakening reminder that this world is temporary, but love for the sake of Almighty Allah is eternal. The Prophet said, when Allah loves a servant, He tests him. Tirmidhi. This isn't a test to destroy you, it's a test to elevate you, to reconnect you with your own heart, to remind you of your dependence on Allah, to bring you back to prayer with sincerity, to soften you, to teach you compassion, to remove pride or ego, to prepare you for something greater. And sometimes, Almighty Allah takes someone from your life because their time in your story is complete, but their time with Allah has just begun. Let me paint a picture you may understand. When you were younger, your mother held your hand to cross the road. She let go only when the path was clear, when she knew you were ready to take the next step on your own. Almighty Allah does the same. He removes people when your journey with them has reached the point Allah prescribed. Not early, not late, but precisely when His wisdom decrees. For some people, staying longer would have brought hardship you weren't prepared for. For others, their departure becomes the reason you finally turn back to Almighty Allah with a broken heart, and a broken heart is the closest state to Him. The Prophet said, Allah is with the brokenhearted, and what breaks the heart more deeply than the loss of someone you love? Sometimes Almighty Allah removes someone from your life not because the relationship was bad, but because the attachment became too deep, too consuming, too defining. And Allah loves you too much to let your heart depend entirely on someone who will eventually return to dust. So He gently, painfully pulls them away, not to leave you alone, but to pull you back to Him. Every loss is a doorway to Almighty Allah. Every heartbreak is a bridge to Him. Every tear is a witness of your faith. When Allah removes someone from your life, He replaces their presence with Himself. The one who never leaves, never changes, never dies. But when a family member leaves this world, the pain is a different kind of wound. It's not the pain of separation. It's the pain of knowing you can no longer say the words you held back. You can no longer do the things you postponed. You can no longer hug the person whose absence now fills your chest. But here is the mercy. Islam does not end the relationship with death. It transforms it. Your mother, father, child, spouse, they are not gone. They have simply moved into the next room of existence. The dunya part of your relationship ended, but the akhira part is eternal. Allah says, and give good news to the patient who say when disaster strikes, indeed we belong to Allah, and to Him we shall return. 155 to 156. This is not just a phrase of comfort, it is a reminder that you will meet them again, in a place where pain cannot follow, where tears do not fall, where hearts never break. The Prophet told us, there is no Muslim who is struck with a calamity and says as Allah commanded, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. O Allah, reward me for my affliction and replace it with something better. But Allah will replace it with something better. Muslim, you may ask, what could be better than my mother, my father, my child, my spouse? The better does not always mean someone new. Sometimes the better is patience. Sometimes it is closeness to Allah. Sometimes it is healing. Sometimes it is wisdom. And sometimes it is being reunited with them in Jannah, where love never breaks again. Imagine that reunion. No pain, no aging, no sickness, no arguments, no distance, just eternal peace, eternal joy, eternal love. But you must work for that reunion. Pray for them. Give charity for them, recite Qur'an, and gift the reward. Forgive their mistakes, speak well of them, carry their legacy, make dua for Allah to illuminate their grave. The Prophet said, when a human being dies, his deeds end except for three: ongoing charity, beneficial knowledge, or a righteous child who prays for him. Muslim, be that righteous child, be that righteous spouse, be that righteous sibling, be the reason their grave is filled with light. May Almighty Allah bless them with Jannah. Sometimes Allah removes someone so that you can carry the torch of goodness they left behind. Their departure may be the beginning of your transformation. And here is another truth. Not every person Allah removes is through death. Sometimes a person is removed from your life, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, because they were harming your peace, because they were pulling you away from Allah, because their presence was damaging your heart, because their chapter in your story is complete. And although it hurts, Almighty Allah says, perhaps your Lord will replace it with something better. Surah Al-Furqan 25:10. You are never left empty-handed. You lose what blocks you. You gain what builds you. You keep what was written for you. When Allah removes someone, He isn't taking from you. He is clearing space. Space for healing, space for growth, space for new blessings, space for a deeper faith. Your heart is not breaking. It is expanding. You may not understand the wisdom now. You may still cry at night. You may still hold on to their memories. You may still wonder why life had to change. But Allah knows. And when Allah knows, you can breathe through the pain, because He never writes a story that ends in loss, only transitions. This world is temporary. People are temporary. Pain is temporary. But Allah is permanent. His love is permanent. His plan is perfect. And the reunion in the hereafter is forever. So if Allah has removed someone from your life through distance, separation, or death, raise your hands and say, Ya Allah, I trust your wisdom even when my heart does not understand it. Because one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day you will look back and say, now I understand why Almighty Allah took them. It was mercy, it was protection, it was love.